Hello, everyone. It's Deb Floros of Deb Loves Jewelry, and I'm here today delighted to work with Beads to Live By beads. These are amazing check glass beads from Beads to Live By's curated collections. These are actually the companion bundles that are offered to go along with the curated collections that Cassandra Spicer puts together. She has an amazing way of putting together the seed bead curated collection. And so I'm going to use some of the seed beads as well as some of the companion bundle beads. And we're going to make two perfect springtime necklaces. These beads are so, so amazing. I fell in love with the shapes, the sizes of these beads, and yeah, I love everything about them. So I'm going to be using some 19 strand beading wire for the first design, and I'm cutting from the package because I'm actually going to design the focal section first. So I'm using those big, really unusual pink beads. They are singing my song. The color is amazing, and these beautiful ladybug beads. So they've got a gold wash on them. And so I decided I'm going to use some head pins and I'm going to wire wrap them just by creating a simple wire wrap loop with round nose pliers. And I'm going to be using them as part of the focal section of the necklace as well as part of the necklace itself. So I've got a pattern here of one of the large pink beads, 3 seed beads, and those gold seed beads are from my personal stash, but I'm using a pink bead, a gold bead, a pink bead, and then adding one of the ladybugs, and then using one of the pink beads stringing on in the opposite direction. So I'm kind of doing that throughout the course of the necklace, making sure that the pink beads are strung on in that kind of a way. It does matter how they're strung. You can do whatever you'd like, but that's what I'm doing there. I'm using 4 of those ladybugs in the focal section, and all it is pink bead, 3 seed beads, ladybug, 3 seed beads, pink bead. And make sure when you're wrapping those ladybugs that you are straightening out your loops and getting that little end of your wire tucked in so that they look nice and finished. So I'm just getting all of that focal section strung up and making sure that the seed beads are the continuity throughout the course of the entire piece. Oh, I love how that looks. Just so fun. The green and the pink and the little touch of gold are such a nice spring combination. Then I've got those little yellow daggers. They're bright yellow and they add such a beautiful pop with these colors. Cassandra has a way of putting these things together, and all I did was put them together in one piece, and they are so lovely. So once we've got our focal section done, then we're going to move to add those trios of daggers, and they're going to push each other in different directions once the necklace is all settled in. And so I'm doing a pattern of the 3 seed beads, the 3 daggers, the 3 seed beads, and I'm going to use those pink beads until we run out of those. And that's just a really simple pattern, but looks so special and so pretty. I just love this combination. So yeah, I'm getting the last of those pink beads on, and we're going to use the entire strand of them. They're just so special and so fun, and they're kind of chunky. So this makes kind of a chunky necklace. This will be a great piece for layering. And you can layer it with simpler necklaces or chain necklaces. Oh, I love how that looks. Okay, so we're still doing the same pattern of seed beads, the pink, the gold, the pink, and then we're going to keep going with those daggers beyond the beads that we have, the pink beads. So we're just going to keep going with those and make those trios on both sides of the piece Wow, I love that pop. That's just such a lovely shade of yellow. And you actually have one bead left, so you could do something with that later, maybe a focal on a bracelet. Now we've got ladybugs left, so we're going to string those on, and I'm going to string them on with their head going downwards. You could do whatever you'd like. You could even switch it up throughout the course of the design. I just strung them all going in the same direction on both sides of the necklace. And since that's all we've got left at this point, all we're doing is just stringing the seed beads and the ladybugs. And if you don't want to use up those ladybugs, you could always just do seed beads throughout the rest of the necklace, or you could put this on some chain or some leather or something like that. So I'm just putting on my fun little ladybugs on either side of the piece, stringing them on, making sure everything matches up. And then once I've got 3 of those ladybugs on either side, I feel good about the length of this. So I'm going to push everything out of the way and we're going to focus on finishing this piece up. So what I'm going to do with this is actually, I cut off way too much wire. So I'm going to add a bead stopper and then I'm going to push that piece up to the bead stopper and cut off just about 3 inches of wire. And then I've got wire that I can put back on my spool and use for something else. So we'll trim that off and make sure that we don't waste that. And now we're ready to put our closure on. So I've got a size 2 crimp, I've got a piece of French wire about 1/2 inch, and I've got a fun toggle clasp by Tierra Cast. It's a little floral piece. So I'm just adding that on both sides and getting everything crimped nicely, making sure that I don't crimp in a straight line. And this piece is pretty spectacular. I am crazy about this one. I'm madly in love with anything spring right now. And all of these amazing check glass beads from Beads to Live By were really just ready to be made into beautiful spring designs. So look at this piece. Colorful, joyful, absolutely love how this one came out. Ah, I love it. So there it is. It's so fun, but we're not going to stop there. We're going to make a second necklace with more from the companion bundles and the seed bead curated collections. So these are fun. These have a Picasso edge and they are a beautiful lilac shade. And then there's these bellflowers. And this strand has really 4 different colors of those bellflowers all strung together. So these purple seed beads are beautiful to go with. And I think these green ones have to be part of the equation as well, both 11 O's. And I think what we'll do is create some little wire wrapped drops with the beads. So I've got some ball end head pins and I'm using silver as my metal for this particular design. So I'm going to string on in order all 4 colors of those bellflowers with a green seed bead in between each one. So it's kind of got a little bit of an ombre effect. You could do that differently. There's all different kinds of ways that you could string these on and create these little 4 bellflower wire wrapped little drops. You could do less beads, you could do more beads, but that's how that looks. And then I'm just going to use my round nose pliers and create a simple wire wrap loop. You could do a simple loop if you're more comfortable with that technique. I love this little bellflower drop. It's so cute, so cute. So we're gonna create a few of those. We're gonna do 5 of those drops. Yep, 5. And then I'm going to cut my wire and we're going to string from the center. So the 5 little drops are going to be between seed beads. So I'm doing a similar technique to the previous necklace, the purple, a green, a purple seed bead, the drop, then that repeats, and then our other check glass beads in between. And then we're just going to use those last 2 kind of elongated ovals on either side. And then we're going to use the rest of those bellflowers to complete the necklace. And again, you could do all seed beads at this point, or you could do chain or something else. But I love the bellflowers. I'm going to string them all going in the same direction. And my continuity is those seed beads. Purple, green, purple, bellflower, purple, green, purple, bellflower. That's the pattern. Looks so pretty. And it almost looks as though these are growing. Like this is floral coming alive in your yard. So, so pretty. And I'm checking to make sure all of the beads are all correct and my design is consistent. I love how this came out. We're going to do the same thing to close this one up. I've got some size 2 crimp tubes in silver. I've got a fun floral toggle and some French wire, which is about 1 inch, which I'll cut in half. And I'll use a 1/2 inch on either side. And I'm just going to make sure that that has a nice loop to allow my toggle to move around. And then I'm going to crimp the ends of the piece. I am crazy about both of these necklaces. I can't pick a favorite. This one is fantastic. The other one is fantastic. I know now that I have 2 amazing spring necklaces that I'm going to wear all season and well into summer. Cassandra does an amazing job at Beads to Live By, curating all of these beautiful beads for you. You can check out everything that she's got available at beadstoliveby.com. And I hope you enjoyed these projects and maybe make something like this, similar or the same for yourself. Have a wonderful spring. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to share and comment which necklace you like best. Thanks so much for watching.